most beautiful silver coin ever is? Well, there's been a lot of coins in the last 250 years, but the number one is the Walking Liberty half dollar. Why do I say that? Well, it's currently the Silver Eagle and has been for the last 40 years. Identical design. So whenever we can go backwards and find the original 90% silvers, we do. They're just gorgeous. But tonight, our bonanza or our hoard is back. And look at the price per coin. Tonight, we're under $15 each. That's special. And the quality of the coins? Absolutely. They're gorgeous, collector grade, which means the rim dings, the discolorizations, all that stuff is kicked out. So when we go through the bags, we throw away all the crud, keep the good stuff. And with that said, we're still able to hit this crazy price point. We are under $15 a coin for vintage 90% silver half dollars. Why is that significant? Well, we look at silver always as that factoring field, right? 1 ounce silvers are real easy. It's 1 ounce, 31.101 grams. What does it cost? We have one equation and it gets us there. But before, we had all the special rounds, Engelhart and others bringing forward with our Silver Eagle in the 1980s. It was only bars and ingots or 90% silver. So back then we all remembered our percentages on 90% silver. How many dimes to an ounce? How many quarters to an ounce on the half dollars? How many half dollars to an ounce? Well, the 90% silver has a net weight of 12.5 grams. A full ounce is 31.101. Just basic math there. But it nets down to 0.36 ounces, which means technically a 3 Walking Liberty half dollars, 3 Franklins, 3 90% Kennedys, equal a little more than an ounce. So then it comes down to the cost per 1 ounce pieces versus others. And I did see a couple 1 ounce rounds at that $40 level, which is not horrible. But then when you started getting into like the Silver Eagle, the Maple Leafs, the Britannias, we're looking at $49 to $59 for the brand new 1 ounce silvers. Well, 3 times 15 is 45. So on a silver weight mechanism, it's actually more affordable buying vintage coins. That doesn't happen often. It's just being at the right place at the right time for math. So with that aside, now let's just talk about this gorgeous coin. So for the longest time, all of our silver coins were always the same designs. If you go back in history, the bust design when we first were introduced in the early 1800s. Then we went to the seated Liberty design. We had a half dime a dime, a 20-cent piece a quarter, a half dollar, and a limited number of dollars, all silver, all the same design. And then, after the Morgan dollar is introduced in the Morgan series, we have the Barber dime, quarter, half dollar. So all of our silvers look alike. Well, in 1916, that changed. President Theodore Roosevelt, the Rough Rider Roosevelt's dream came true. He wanted all of our coins to be unique, more in line with the world power we were becoming. So the Mercury dime is born, the Standing Liberty quarter is born, and the Walking Liberty half dollar is born. Over time, this design ends up being the #1 coinage design of all time. And if you don't believe me on that one, let's just ask this simple question. What is the current Silver Eagle design on the obverse? We call it a Silver Eagle because there is a rendition on the reverse of the coin, just like this one. But the obverse is an exact match. Going back to our Walking Liberty half dollar. And we've been doing this now for 40 years on the silver dollar, which is longer actually than making the actual coin. Go figure. So the Walking Liberty half dollar was introduced in 1916. The big coin renaissance, 1916. It lasted until 1947, and it was replaced by the Franklin half dollar at that time. During that time, there were Philadelphia's, Denver's, and San Francisco's that were struck. The mint mark, see the word half dollar on the bottom, shift yourself up to about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and you'll see the mint mark. This one is the S for San Francisco. That's the differentiation. The coins we have, these are the quality. This is the quality. $14.95 each. How many can I buy? What you want to. We have a limited number in our inventory. So if you called up and said you wanted 500, right now we'd be able to say we can't take the order. But we have a few hundred left. So you can buy 5, 10, 20, whatever works for you. Or you can just buy one, which is always your choice. The mixture of coins. Yes, there's a good mix of P's, D's, and S's. The coins that I looked at personally. Just took a couple of handfuls out of the bin where they sorted out these coins. I saw the late 1920s, like you're seeing here, the 1929. I saw the 1930s, and I saw the 1940s. So there's a good mixture there as well. So if I had to guess inside of just what I said, I would say 10 different is pretty much a standard. Even though tonight, this is not a how many different can I get. This is about one 90% silver $half for under $15. And it's not a Franklin or a Kennedy. It's the most beautiful of them all, the Walking Liberty $half. That's the difference here. That's the big time difference. Yeah, let me repeat what I said earlier on the silver scenarios. All right, so 1 ounce of silver is 31.101 grams, right? No matter if it's pure or not, purity, that's a 1 ounce pure is 31.101. These coins, the circulating coins in America over the years, from the Morgan dollar, peace dollar, to the big $half, at this time in history, this was the big coin. They stopped making the silver dollar, the peace dollar, in 1935. So these are 90% silver because they were intended to circulate. They had a small alloy. The net weight is 12.5 grams, which nets to 0.36 ounces. So if you want to make a full ounce of just silver bullion value, you need 3 of these $half to do it, and you'll be a little over an ounce. What I referenced earlier is when you're looking at the Silver Eagle, the Maple Leafs, and others at the $49 to $59 range, usually that's the more affordable way of owning silver. Well, every once in a while, the clock goes in reverse. You can get 3 of these tonight for $45, which is less money on the silver value. That's what I was talking about. Guys, give me a 30-second clock, please. How many different again? P's, D's, and S's, good mixture. They date from the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s. With all of that said, I'm 10 easy. We'll do as many as we possibly can. Obviously, we want to make you happy. But it's all about price per coin this evening. That's what this is about. Price per coin, and we're under $15 for a real 90% silver Walking Liberty $half with a gorgeous collector grade. A mixture of P's, D's, and S's, as well as a good mixture of dates. That makes this opportunity tonight special.